We want to say to Captain Ibrahim Traoré that we stand with him and support his vision for the Sahel region and the whole of African continent, including the expulsion of French colonialism. We say to our brother Duma Boko in Botswana that will heed his call for the unity behind the rallying cry for our land and minerals to return. We call upon him to also remove the American base in America. We have no land that can be shared with America, especially in Southern Africa, and that government is progressive. Let us remove the army base of America in Botswana. The face and future of Africa is economic freedom, and that economic freedom will be launched from the southern tip of Africa.
Wow, what a loud and clear message from the Commander-in-Chief and the President of Economic Freedom Fighters, Mr. Julius Malema, speaking from South Africa, telling Africans the truth. In this short video, you heard almost 4 things that I want to comment on. Number one is the issue of support, Malema's support to Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Number 2, the issue of military base in Botswana, telling President Duma Boko to remove U.S. military base. And number 3 is the issue of economic freedom. Number 4 is the issue of mining that has take control of our minerals. Starting with the issue of military base in Botswana. Do you think President Duma Boko will take the same steps taken by leaders such as Traoré, Goita, and Chihan to tell America that please remove your military base in my country? Can President Duma Boko do like that? Yes, in recent days we have seen President Boko doing great things, but one of the things that many Africans are waiting to see is the issue of closure of U.S. military base in Botswana. And let us ask ourselves, brothers and sisters, why America stationed military base in Botswana? If you look geographically, it means to have military base in Botswana, it means you control South Africa, you control Zambia. Of course, some have already said America has military offices in Zambia. You control Zimbabwe, you control Mozambique, you control Angola. And that's why America stationed base in Botswana, to make sure that America increase influence in the SADC region. So, will President Duma Boko take decisive actions to close U.S. military base? Let us look at the relationship between Botswana and the U.S. U.S. has shareholders on mining in Botswana. By saying so, it means you are saying that you, U.S., pack your bag and stop buying my minerals. And these military bases are located to protect the interest of the hosting country. I mean America or China or Russia. That's what they're doing. Will President Boko ready to face consequences after saying that remove U.S. base? Will President Boko ready for destabilization, the way we saw in Mali, in Burkina Faso, in Niger? Because if you tell these people, remove your base, one thing that they will do is to create destabilization in your country. Does the President Boko ready for that destabilization? So let us wait and see what will happen. But all in all, Malema has spoken without fear of anyone, of anything, without fearing that please, you President Duma Boko, if you are real progressive leader, please close U.S. military base in Botswana. Another issue that Malema has spoken here is the issue of supporting his support to President Traoré. You may ask yourself why Malema is supporting Traoré. It's because Traoré has shown us the way that African leader should do like this. By fighting French colonialism, by closing military base, that's why Malema supporting Traoré. And that's why also after supporting Traoré, Malema told President Duma Gideon Boko to close U.S. military base in order for Boko to join progressive leaders like Traoré. He need to do what Traoré has done. So right now we see Captain Traoré and his counterparts, Chian and Goita, they have taken control of their minerals. But we see they are facing some destabilization. But all in all of them, they need our support. Because if we don't support Traoré, Traoré will fail. And if Traoré will fail, these people will come out and say, you see, Traoré tried to do what you think you can do, but he failed. So they're trying to make sure that Traoré is failing. But we Africans, we need to support Traoré. We need to make sure that we support those leaders, because if Traoré will fail, it means it will take us another years to have leaders who will try, because they will use that example that you see. We had Traoré, and of course they have threatened Traoré that you see Gaddafi, where is he? You saw at Sankara, where is he? You saw Kwame Nkrumah, where is he? All of them, they tried what you think you can do, but they failed. So you can't challenge us. But we can challenge them if we are so united. Now let us move to the issue of economic freedom that should be launched from the southern part of the continent. Of course, Malema desire to see economic freedom being launched from southern part of the continent, especially South Africa. But let us look the situation. Will Africa attain economic freedom in the near future? Do you see we have right people who will fight for economic freedom? Because those who have ideas have no power. For instance, we know Malema is a champion of economic freedom in the continent of Africa, but has no power. Has no power. Malema has great ideas how to unite this continent, talking about unity, borderless continent, but Malema has no power. Do you see in the near future we are going to emancipate ourselves economically? So let us look a little bit the reality on the continent of Africa, not only southern part of the continent, in the continent of Africa in general. Africa is a divided continent, and these countries or divided parts of the continent, which we call countries, they have different ideas and plans and ideologies. Right now we have something called democracy. That is a big Trojan horse. It's a Trojan horse that are being used to divide the Africans and to make sure that Africans will not achieve. You know, maybe you don't know this. In many African countries, we have these terms, presidential terms, whether 2 terms or 3 terms. Of course, it's just 2 terms. Many of them for 5 years, 5 years, 5 years. So just imagine you are a president for 5 years. First here, you have to prepare, or if it's about engineering, to mobilize resources. That's for the first year in power. The last year, you are preparing for the next election. You will be busy with the preparation of next election. What you have is only 3 years. So in 3 years, what can you do, brothers and sisters? What can you do in 3 years? Remember that if you want economic emancipation or you want economic freedom, first of all, you have to fight imperialism. You have to take control of your natural resources. So can you achieve in 3 years? Some can say yes, you can achieve. But in democratic ways, it is difficult. Whether militarily it is okay, but democratically it is difficult. Because if you touch the interest of the West, they will say you are not democratic. They will change your names. And what they will do, they will not deal with you directly. They will wait you on the next election. They will make sure that they support your opposition. And we Africans, because we don't have a common agenda, even if we are maybe in one country, or maybe we are South Africans, or we are Botswana, or we are Namibians, within ourselves, we are divided. There are those who want someone to be removed from power. So these people will use someone to make sure that you are going out of the power. And that's what they did. They did to that for Kwame Nkrumah. They did that to Thomas Sankara. They used his best friend. To Patrice Emery Lumumba, they used Mobutu Sese Seko. To Gaddafi, they used people, labels. That's what they do. So diplomatically, it will be difficult. Militarily, it is possible, because we have seen in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. But look what is happening right now in Mali and Niger and Burkina Faso. Lot of destabilization. They're trying to make sure that Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso are not going to achieve. Why? Because if Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso will achieve, it means the entire continent will see this is the best way. Democracy is not the best way. Of course, all of us, we know, we witness that democracy has failed in the continent of Africa. Democracy is not working. And to prove democracy is not working, look what happened recently in Tanzania. You can understand democracy is not working. Democracy has failed in many African countries. So 3 years, you cannot do anything. Diplomatically, you cannot achieve. So what we need to do is to convene a meeting to collapse these things we call constitution. Let us collapse our constitutions. These nations' constitution, let us collapse those things and create a new one. All of us, maybe let us assume all of us, we have a common agenda that we can achieve. And it will be difficult because what these people have done, they have succeeded to plant their puppets. If maybe you are country A, your neighbor is a puppet of the West. Maybe in the northern part of your country, you have puppets. That's how they have succeeded to divide Africa. They have created an environment where they will make sure that Africa will not achieve. But Africa can achieve if we have patriotic leaders like Malema, like Traoré, like Goita, like Chiani, and many others. If we can have patriotic leaders who fear nothing, this continent can move in the right direction. But right now we have leaders who they don't have family here in the continent of Africa. We call them our leaders, but their family are not here. Their family are in Europe, in America. So how can we having such kind of leaders and we expect changes in this continent? Africa has been created the market. This is economic wars. Countries will be under sanctions. Country will face tariffs. So are we ready for that? Can we overcome those challenges? Yes, we can. But if we were united. Without unity, brothers and sisters, we can't achieve. You heard about Botswana, US military base in Botswana. Of course, I've already spoken. But how can Botswana remove US military base without support from the neighboring countries. Because if you remove US military base in Botswana, they will take the military base in next door, maybe in Zambia or Zimbabwe or Eswatini. And they will use that military base to destabilize you. You see? But the only solution and the only way for we Africans is to come together. If we can come together, political leaders, sit down, come together and decide for the future of this continent. I've been saying this many times. By providing good speeches, having good plans, having good maybe declaration, will not change anything in the continent of Africa, except unity. These things that is happening in the continent of Africa, declaration, planning, meetings, those things are just nothing because no implementation. No implementation, just people are going there to get money, sitting allowance, something like that. There's no actions that are being taken from there. What we need right now is actions, and actions would be taken if we are united. We are speaking with one voice. If you can agree to unite with me, it means we can agree to work together. We can say, let us do this, let us do that. And if we are united, we can tell our citizens, you know, these 10 years, we need to change this continent. This, maybe 20 years, let us change our mother continent. It is possible. Right now, you see what is happening. Country A, before election, they construct roads and good infrastructures. After election, they use people to distract it. That's what is happening. So we are moving nowhere. We are still there. So to change all those things, we need to come together. Those are just my opinions. So maybe you have different opinions from what you heard from me and from what you heard from Malema. But if we don't come together, brothers and sisters, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. We'll come here, we'll speak. As long as we don't come together, we don't unite, and we not take any kind of action. And also another thing that we have as Africans, we have self-hate. We have jealous. We have jealous. Let us end our jealous, our ego. Let us love one another. Let us support each other. So those are just my opinions. I hope you heard my opinions. I'm waiting also to hear from you. How can we do and how to achieve economic freedom? So brothers and sisters, thank you for watching. Thank you for being with me. It's my hope that you will tell us the best way for we Africans to achieve economic freedom. Thank you.
Thank you, Africa, Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make African great. Thank you, freedom. Thank you, Africa.